Hi everyone, welcome to this year's Fans Youth Film Festival. This evening we are screening our strand, Magical and Fantastical, and afterwards we're going to be having a chat with the filmmakers themselves, so stick around for that. We've got some fantastic films up tonight, so hope you enjoy.
What are you doing? Why are you taking my cereal again? Just because you're the older brother makes you think you can take everything that's mine. And you're eating it!
Yeah.
Do you know how expensive cereal is? No, it's not that much, but...
No, it's not too expensive.
Well, I'm having it back if that's...
No, you're not.
Oh, would you two just stop it?
Can you tell him to stop stealing my food? He does it every morning.
No, I don't.
Here, a jacket came from your aunt. Oh, well.
We're not wearing that.
Put it on. If you like it, you can even wear it to school. Show off to your friends.
Get it on then, because I'm not wearing it.
No chance.
Rock, paper, scissors for it then. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Yes! Right then, I'm getting it on.
Listen, if you really don't like it, then go to the bathroom before class and take it off.
That's nice. Oh, £20.
Fish and chips for tea. Have a nice day, my boys. Love you.
Bye.
Did you find anything in your pocket?
Yeah, £20.
Check the other one.
That's about £50. What are you doing? Give it back. No,
Hey,
give it
listen,
back.
listen. I'll make a deal. Give me the jacket for the whole day, and I'll give you the money back and my lunch. How's that?
Fine. Deal.
Okay, quiet down.
Okay, before we start, make sure that you have a pen and calculator. You will have 45 minutes to complete the assessment. You may fill in your credentials on the front. Once you've done that, you may begin.
Shut up! Shut up!
I'm telling you, Ian, there's something strange going on. Ever since I started wearing this jacket, weird things have been happening.
Yeah, like what?
Well, bad things have been happening to people who try to pick on me, and
Oh yeah, and you believe those things are happening because of the jacket?
I'm telling you, something is up. Right, yesterday, I did a test, right, and the answer sheet, it literally flew off Mr. Phillips's desk and landed under mine.
Sure, it was the jacket.
Why would I lie about this?
I don't know. Maybe so I start wearing the jacket?
Okay. What about the money we found yesterday? Or that prick who bumped into me and slipped and fell on his face. He looked around as if something pushed him over.
You're being an idiot.
I'm not being an idiot. Look, you'll just have to wear the jacket for yourself to believe me.
Fine.
I love your jacket. Like the jacket?
Oh man, where'd you get that jacket? Oh, it's so cool.
I got it from my cousin.
A nice jacket, man. Cool.
Love the pattern.
What? He said they like that jacket.
Hey Ewan, we're having a party this weekend. Do you want to come? Everyone's going, it'll be fun.
Yeah, sure.
Do you have something to add, Ewan?
No, Miss Phillips.
Oh, but I think you do. And I think if you're talking, then you must know the answer to this one.
Yeah, it's k equals 1/16.
That is correct. Have you done this question before?
No, I just knew it.
You just knew it. Okay, then. Let's see if you can answer this.
I think I know it.
How have you done that?
I don't know.
Have you ever thought of joining the maths club?
What?
Come on. What are you doing? Where's that?
What are you doing? What are you looking for?
Take that thing off. Surely you can see it's possessing you.
No. Can't separate us now. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Take it. Take it off. No, what? It's not coming off. Here, put it in the bag. Put it in here.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah, thank God.
How is it back?
It's not possible.
We binned it.
Yeah, we binned it.
Well, what do we do now?
I don't know. Just take it. I'm not.
We could give it to him.
No, I'm not giving it to him.
What do you mean? This thing's a parasite. We have to get rid of it.
I'm not up for giving it to anyone. We should keep trying to destroy it. Maybe we could burn it or something.
Destroy it. It's gonna keep coming back. I'm not having that in my house. Seriously.
I don't want to give it to anyone, especially not him.
Yes,
Please,
we are.
no,
He
no.
needs it. Look at him.
It's gonna make his life a misery though.
No, it won't. Come on. Hey, sir? Yes. We wanted you to have this.
What is it? It's a jacket. Thank you very much. It's kind of ugly, isn't it?
play tea tonight. I was worried you'd had a big lunch or something.
She was hell bent on a sausage supper. Absolute nightmare trying to get her to change her mind.
I'm really glad you did. Jesus, Freya. Look, there's a party tonight. It's just a few streets away. I'm going to DJ. Well, they're putting on one of my playlists.
Not allowed.
Please. It's the furthest I've seen you out this door. Never going to get to see you in real life.
Aye, of course. I'm just...
Just, what, 30 years old and grounded?
No. Grounded. I just don't go to parties.
And I keep bringing these round for you. Do you even listen to them?
Aye. Music's everything to me.
Yeah? What was your favourite track on the last one?
What? The name of it?
Aye. As soon as I introduced them all, the music's everything to you.
I don't remember the names. Oscar, come on. Hey, what are you doing?
I'm not wasting my time anymore.
Oscar, Denny, please use your stick.
If you want it, go on and get it. Didn't I, Hinksy? And I doubt you even like my music. Maybe you just don't like me.
That's not true.
You need to give me some indication this is going somewhere, other than this doorstep. Does that mean I'll see you tonight?
Freya! Freya! Oh, leaving me sat here salivating, letting in a draft. And you, stop slamming those doors.
Here's yours.
Oh. Oh. Oh, it's all soggy and cold. And that's your fault for fanning around, flirting with that good-for-nothing delivery boy. You think I button up the back? Oh, can't eat that. What is this?
Just a couple of songs.
Music. That malcontent of a mealman has been putting fanciful ideas in your head again, hasn't he?
Oh, Granny, it's one-way playlist. I'm an adult. It's getting beyond a joke you're keeping me cooped up.
Well, you're hardly Cinder Fluffinella. Oh, I'm doing this for your own good. Come on, what was the deal? No more music. Oh, come here. I do love you, Poppet.
Holy fuck!
I'm not real. You're having a dream. I'm here to insist that you come to the ball. Party.
I can't do that to my gran. She'll be beside herself if anything bad happened. It's not safe.
That's right, Freya. You tell him. Sneaking into your subconscious, tempting fate. He's got no concept of the severity of the situation. You put one foot wrong, Sonny Jim, and you won't know what hit you.
What do you want to do, Freya? Have you thought about that? You're not a Disney princess. Granny's hardly a fire-breathing dragon.
I beg your pardon?
So you're a bit on the wild side. I like that in a woman. Get your glad rags on. There's nothing to be scared of.
Freya, don't you dare!
Yeah, you can feel alright when you're cheating all the time. And you smoke some cucumber and slumber inside your soul to shine. But the man from below, he's in the business, so you know not to mess around. But some sound like Audrey sits there strumming away the blues, be up the blues. It's your only right to choose, and I chose it, yes I did. I chose it, yes I did.
Honestly, Poppet, when will you ever learn?
That was magical and fantastical. We're now going to have a bit of a Q&A with some of the filmmakers. We'll just start off, if everyone could introduce what film they were made and what part they played. Victoria.
I was part of The Jacket. I was the director.
Nice. And Jess? I think you're muted.
Muted, sorry. Hi, I was the producer for The Land and the Sea.
And Alex?
Hi, I was the director of Ocean View.
And Tanya?
Hi there, my name is Tanya Allen, and I am a diff. And I was working with Jess on The Land and the Sea.
Thank you.
So
Oh, sorry.
I was the one producing I'm the actress in the film producing the poem.
Perfect. So my first question is going to be, how did you come up with the idea for your film? Victoria.
We did, it was like a course that we did, and there was about 20 of us, and we were going to split into 2 groups and choose 2 ideas to make 2 films. And the idea for the jacket was my idea, but I could not tell you where I pulled it from. Like, I was sitting there, we had an hour to think, and I was like, what if they had an ugly jacket that they had to wear for some reason that they just really didn't want to wear? So I was like, why would they wear it? It's lucky. So they ended up choosing my idea, which really shocked me.
And where did the jacket come from? Was the jacket like lying around, or was that your idea?
No, we found it online, and then I actually have it here.
Wow.
We added these tassels and some pockets that really don't match.
Nice. Jess, what about you? What was the idea behind The Land and the Sea?
So I'll let Tanya tell you about the idea behind the poem, because that's all her work. I just really wanted to capture it because I thought that the visual medium, like film, would be really good for capturing like a visual poetry.
Okay. Tanya, do you want to tell us about the poem and things?
Well, my idea came from it's really like linked to folklore, really. So I've been really interested in folklore myself. I find it a very interesting topic to look at, and being Scottish myself as well. So I was looking for BSL translations to do with folklore, and I couldn't find any. So there's not a lot of access to the deaf community for people. They don't really know about Scottish folklore because it's not easily accessible. So I found that for that folklore story about the seal jacket, and I was like, that's got a good connection for me myself as well. Like, that story is really relatable to the deaf community. It's very powerful. So I was reading lots about it and kept thinking. So I created the poem myself. And also I wanted to show the 2 different worlds within the story. So when she is a Selkie and wearing the coat, that is showing. Sorry, when she's not wearing the coat, that's showing the oppression. They don't really know their true identity. Her husband's away, and she's left on her own, completely isolated. She's stuck with the husband. So the husband took the wife away, and now she's stuck in a lighthouse, all by herself. The husband is in full control of that relationship. And then it's similar with another world. So it's similar to sign language as well. So the history of sign language would say that a lot of people in the past have taken sign language away from the deaf community. So they went to school, they weren't allowed to sign. They were stuck in mainstream schools and they had to talk. It was hearing only. There was no sign language allowed. They had to sit on their hands. So this story really does relate to the deaf community as well. So it's similar to the seal and the Selkie having to wear this coat. They lose their identity, put the coat back on, and they find their real identity again. They're back with all their friends and able to communicate. So we can really compare the 2 stories with the Selkie and the deaf community.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, I love that. What about Ocean View, Alex? How did you come up with that idea?
Yeah, I mean, the main inspiration was the painting itself. It was a painting that was in my parents' house, and sort of over lockdown, I noticed it, and yeah, I kind of thought, what story could you have of someone just staring at it? And that's how it came about.
Yeah, it's a really short, sweet, but nice story.
Thanks.
What was the biggest challenge you faced while making the films, Victoria?
Probably the fact that what you saw there was our second shooting of the entire film.
Oh, really?
We took a whole weekend, and when we looked back on it, we were like, that's really echoey, that's overexposed. So we decided to just scrap it and do it all again.
That must have taken... did you come to a decision of that as a big group, or was it
Yeah, I think when we looked over it, we all agreed that like it wasn't how we wanted it to look and as good as we like thought we could get it. So we just did it again.
Because you shot it over a lot of different areas. Did you have to go back to every single? Wow.
Yeah.
What about you, Jess? What was the biggest challenge you faced?
I just think the fact that none of us had ever really done anything like that before, so we were all totally new to it, and we had a really small team as well. It was just myself, Tanya, my friend Beth, who did the sound, and an interpreter, Leslie. So it was really small, and we were just running around trying to do everything, basically.
So, you don't speak sign language, so you have got the interpreter while you're making it.
Yeah.
How was that, Tanya? How was that? You know, trying to make the film and it requiring an interpreter.
Well, it was a bit of a challenge, I have to say. So we were all working together on this film. So I was also teaching Jess as well some of the things about deaf culture, and she was learning lots from me and what I was explaining and why I was picking the story, why we were saying it this way. So it was also like filming, we're filming it again and again to try and find the best way that we could film this, to have the best view. So we're filming. So we're trying to match the mood of the whole show, of the movie as well. So we to match that environment. So that was quite a challenge. But it was a really, really good team to work on.
Nice. What about you, Alex, with Ocean View? What was your biggest challenge?
I'd say the main challenge is that it's only a minute long, so trying to tell a story in 60 seconds is kind of hard. Yeah, that was the biggest one. And then also because it was during lockdown, I didn't really have access to proper actors or anything, so it was kind of like my sister that was doing the main acting, and we only really had the one location as well. So it was trying to find a story that's simple and easy to do, but still effective.
Yeah, I'd say that I think it lends itself to being short and sweet because you do really tell a nice story throughout it.
Yeah.
Who is your biggest influence within the industry, and what influences you most, Victoria?
I would probably say the director Taika Waititi. I really like his films, and he's just so like bizarre and just like kind of different to how other people would do it.
Like having a jacket. That's crazy patterns. Yeah. I like that. What about Jess? Is there anything that influences you?
I would say maybe coming like along to festivals like this, like really small festivals where like you have all these different strands and every film's completely different. I love that because it just makes you feel like you can do anything in a short space of time and it's still interesting.
Yeah. Is there anything that influences you, Tanya?
Sorry, I didn't realise that was me there. Well, because it's my poem, I wanted it to be visual. That was really important. It had to be visual. And I really wanted people to be able to see me signing. And it's not a translation of an English poem. You know, that was really important. It's not a translation of English. And so I didn't want to then focus on the English words and then it would be, you know, affect the way it was being portrayed in sign language. So I knew it needed to be visual. So it's trying to create that and make sure you have that mood and the emotion involved. But and I think I think the working group, the group that we had working on it, you know, have to explain you know, in BSL and showing those signs and being able to then portray that. And then
explore that idea a little bit more.
So explore that a little bit more. Thank you, Heather. Explore those different worlds was really, really important. And so that process was really what inspired me. And one thing, and I'd done a similar thing before in that kind of group.
Nice. And Alex, was there anything that influenced you?
I mean, for Ocean View, I think the main influence again was the painting. I kind of looked at the tone and the feeling of the painting as well as kind of the colors to sort of base the whole look of the film off of.
Nice. How did everyone get into filmmaking? What was your initial, you know, what brought you into becoming a filmmaker, Victoria?
It started with joining a youth volunteer radio presenting group at Shmoo, a local radio station. And then they said, hey, we have a new group coming up. Do you want to join? And I was like, yeah, sure. And that is how we got it. And I've really figured out that like it's not as hard as I thought it was going to be. And it feels like something that I can really do.
Nice. Jess, what brought you into the industry, and what were you into filmmaking?
So I studied like theoretical kind of film, but didn't really do a lot of practical stuff until I left uni, and then just kind of started looking for ways to make practical stuff, and that was a lot of like hit and miss, but yeah, it's a fun way to get into it.
And did you find going through a sort of study route helped you when you came to actually?
Yes and no. It was, I really enjoyed studying. I wouldn't change it, but it's a whole different ball game trying to make things yourself. You don't really learn any of that when you're like watching movies.
Yeah. Yeah. Tanya, was there what was it that got you into making this film and films?
Well, myself, I'm not really a filmmaker. Jess is really the filmmaker in that. I started sort of poetry and storytelling linked to deaf community, but I also wanted people to be able to watch things created by deaf people and see that tradition, that ownership that deaf people had in their stories. And with folklore as well, I really wanted people to be able to see that visually. Some people look at it and think, oh, you know, it's not that, you know, deaf people don't really have that folklore, that it's not important to them. But it's really important for me to show that so that people could see it. So yeah.
Was this your first film you've made? Well, been in, Tanya?
Yeah, it was really. I mean, before I was in a workshop linked to storytelling at the Storytelling Centre in Edinburgh.
Alex, what got you into filmmaking?
I started when I was about 10 years old. I was kind of always into like drawing and art and photography and stuff, so it was just kind of a natural route into film that way.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you last question before we swap over to the other filmmakers in this strand. Where are you going next? What's your next steps, Victoria?
Currently, I'm in college studying to do film, so hopefully I'll do something after that.
Yeah, you hoping to what part of the industry are you hoping to work in?
My dream job would be directing.
Yeah. Jess, what about you?
I'm currently trying to make a short documentary, so something totally different, about a surrealist artist from Glasgow. So I've just been trying to collect interviews over lockdown and stuff like that. It's not really working.
How is that process? What going through? Because you can't go and see anyone on the front door.
Yeah.
So how are you doing that?
It's been difficult. It's been difficult. I'm trying at the moment just to get loads of kind of old material and piece that together and try and make something. But yeah, we're hoping to re-record some stuff because it's quite hard not having like live interviews.
Yeah. Can you? I guess what tier are you in at the moment?
I'm in Glasgow, so tier 4, I think we are right now. So proper lockdown.
So I suppose maybe if it's a teardrop, you'll be able to tap on people's doors and stand away on a nice day.
Yeah, if we get any nice days, hopefully.
Yeah. Tanya, do you think you'll be doing any more films to show your poems?
Well, I've been thinking about recently. I've been having this debate over the film that this one here, and that there's not enough English translation. And one person was saying, one professor was saying that there should be an interpreted sort of translating it fully, and it should be fully translated into English. But I've been having this debate, and that really, I don't think that should happen. I don't really want a full English translation or transcript from it. I want people to see the visual aspect of BSL. And hopefully in the future, so what would be best would be to making a film where it is accessible and it is all people, not just deaf, but people who loads of different artists, but making it sort of maybe pictures, different art, making it really visual, involving sign language as well, hopefully, where the emotion and the mood and the landscape, it can all be involved, and it's so, you can see that people can connect with that and can see it in a more personal level, rather than having this English translation, and just have it as it is in a visual form.
Yeah, I think it's really exciting to see. BSL. I haven't seen much of it about, so hope to see more of it about in the future. Alex, what's your next steps?
Well, I recently moved to Glasgow, so I'm currently in the process of setting up like a production company, and we kind of do a bunch of different stuff. But yeah, hopefully after the lockdown, I'll be able to get more into short films again. But right now, it's been kind of tricky, obviously.
What kind of stuff are you hoping to do with your production company?
Kind of a mix. We do a lot of music videos, and we're gonna hopefully move more into like company-based stuff, like working with companies, doing sort of promotional social media stuff.
Nice. So we're going to now swap over and speak to a couple other filmmakers who were in these strands before. So thank you all for coming on. This was really, really good to hear from you all. You all with some fantastic films in this strand. Really, really brilliant. So thank you for all coming on. Hiya.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Doing well, you?
Yeah, good. Do you want to just introduce who you are and what film you were in and the role you played?
Yeah, I'm Jack. I was the director of Flit.
And I'm Ina. I was the production designer of Flit as well.
Right. Okay. So it's all Flit.
For now.
Yeah, so far.
For now.
So.
But it's brilliant. Right. It's fantastic. It's really high production value. And a really fun story. So how did you come up with the idea of the film?
That was quite tricky. There wasn't any sort of single sort of thing. But I guess a very simple time was when I was trying to write ideas for a story, and a fly kept landing on my hand, and I kept swatting it away. And then I thought, hang a minute, what if I don't swat the fly away? Would they then? And then, for example, taking that a bit further, what if we stopped attacking flies altogether? Would they do something marvelous given the chance? Would they not always be sprayed and squashed and killed? And then that sort of developed into Flit with a little bit of effort. But I guess that was the start.
That's fantastic. So, were you part of the production team? So you weren't really working on coming up with the idea, were you? Or what was your role?
I was not part of the idea making. No, I think that's all. It's very much Jack's brainchild. I was part of some very heated discussions about whether
absolutely
have cars or whether the buildings would have windows or if it all would be doors all the way up. It was some really hard-hitting questions that we had to.
Yeah, that was really tricky, wasn't it? We were trying to work out how flies would create a civilization, and we had very long conversations on that.
Was there a sort of hiya?
Hi.
Was that a sort of good cop, bad cop sort of the situation where you're getting a bit carried away and you had to?
Yeah, well, I think the problem is we both got quite carried away, so there was it was very heavily balanced on one side of getting carried away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hi there, Lisa.
Hi. Sorry if I'm a bit late.
No worries. Do you want to just introduce who you are, what film you were in, and your role?
Yeah, sure. I'm Lisa. I was one of the producers of Bloody Love Dancing. Yes.
Fantastic. We've just covered up. What was the idea behind the film?
Ooh, big question. I think that it started off. Our director, Vagelis, who's very sorry, by the way, that he can't be here today. He has to work. He wanted to tell a story about a female serial killer. I think that's the way it started out. And then we all sat down together with our other producer, Nele, and our other producer, Julia, and our camera operator, Nele, and the writer, Emma. And we sort of just started pitching ideas of why would she kill people? And we were all kind of interested in that idea that she doesn't really have a choice. There's something that kind of forces her to do it, something within her. And then we thought we wanted to do something a bit funny as well. So we thought of the whole thing with the music. That sort of she can't control herself whenever she hears the music and she dances.
Yeah, it's a very sort of at the beginning it's sort of a Disney story with almost the evil aunt, it seems, and then it takes the dramatic turn that you didn't see coming. And it's brilliant. It really is good.
Yes, I think the idea is it's like a fairy tale. You think it's a fairy tale from the start, where you're like, oh, she's the helpless girl, and she has this guy who tries to get her to sort of free herself. But in the end, you realize, no, it's completely the other way around.
Yeah. So I wanted to. What was the biggest challenge you faced making the film? Maybe Jack, you could start us off with that.
Well, there were quite a few. I think the biggest one probably was trying to kind of work out how to bring a fly, or how to get a fly to act for you, and to actually have quite an important role. So yeah, that was the hardest thing. So it was working. Yeah, I mean, quite all these sort of things of working out how to make these fantastical elements actually come to life in front of the camera.
Yeah. Is there anything you want to add, Ina?
No, I think it's just following up what Jack said. I think it was a lot of work sort of planning the post-production process and planning out on the terms of the scales and how the two would interact and stuff. I think that was definitely, the biggest challenge by far. Yeah, marrying the two worlds.
Yeah. How did you end up doing the fly then in the end?
It was a stop motion puppet. So I made a little thing out of I think balsa wood it was, with a few little pipe cleaners and some sort of I think sort of finger paintbrush things for eyes, and envelope. Sort of, those little plastic windows in letters. We use them for the wings. So cut them up and
Oh
put them together
yeah.
for the wings. And then of course, because it's well, I can get it here actually. Here, one second.
It's a brilliant
Here we
little
go.
thing. It's like the size of your hand. Yeah.
Oh
It's
wow!
quite big, and then you've got to sort of shrink it. So then we
I
sort of
wasn't
shrink
expecting
it.
that.
Yeah, and you can move everything like that and twist it, make them look
Quite big, so we can manipulate it enough for it to be such an emotive starring actor.
Oh yeah, exactly. To give it raw emotion.
I could see how you had the scaling issues then.
Yeah.
Lisa, what was the biggest challenge you faced?
Well, I think it's also hard. There's a lot of challenges. I think for us it was mostly time because we were shooting the film it's part of a master's degree at Screen Academy. And we were shooting the film in the summer as our graduation film. But basically all the graduation films were shot that summer. I was producing 3. And everybody was on everybody's films. So we just didn't have a lot of time to really work on the script, work on basically everything. But we managed to make it work somehow.
No, it came out brilliant. Who or what is your biggest influence in the influence you making film, or just in general in the industry, Jack?
I don't really know. It's hard to say. All sorts of different areas, I guess. This film probably took a lot from sort of silent films, and Mr. Bean, I think, was quite a big influence, definitely for this film. Sort of areas of it, that's sort of because it sort of works with no dialogue or very little dialogue. So that was quite a big one. And then I think sort of Charlie Chaplin as well, a little bit, but he goes quite far back. So it's more so Mr. Bean probably, I guess, for this.
Yeah, I see that. See where you got that from. Yeah. Is there anything else?
I think Wallace and Gromit.
Oh yes, that's a huge one. Yeah.
Thing on our minds as well. Kind of all of those infinite details and that whole ludicrous scientist world and all the machineries and all of that. It was a very big influence. So definitely the silent films, but I think also that was quite a notable honorable mention.
I've gone through all the films and I've got notes, and one of my notes is Wallace and Gromit vibes.
Yeah.
So I definitely picked up on that. What influences affected your Lisa?
I think it's not just one influence, especially with Bloody Love Dancing. We made a list of tons of films, but not just films, also artwork, books, stories, for each scene, because all the scenes are quite different. I can't actually remember all of them now. I remember that one of the biggest influences in terms of the set design and the light for the party scene was actually the party scene in Call Me By Your Name. Which is completely different from the story, of course, but it's more about the looks. So it's very interesting to see actually what other people get from it, because I guess that's not a very straightforward influence here, but it's more about the looks than about the story, of course.
Fun enough, that's in my notes too. I've got that, but call me by your name.
Oh wow!
Oh wow!
Because you get the shots of it down at the feet dancing, and then you got all the arm. Yeah.
Oh wow! You're very good at picking up.
Wow, that is brilliant.
Yeah, and then the way it turns, I think it makes it more dramatic, because you've got this sort of romance going on, and then it suddenly it turns. So that's really cool. How did you get into filmmaking? Jack?
I guess big thing was going to university and studying film and TV. That was a big one. But I guess the moment when it happened, it's hard to pin these things down, but I do remember distinctively watching Pirates of the Caribbean and thinking that looks like a lot of fun to make, because people were sort of falling into water and with all these fake hands and stuff. So I think, I guess probably watching films and thinking, that looks like quite fun to actually make these things. Probably it's a build up, I guess. I guess that would be the answer.
Nice. What about you? What got you into filmmaking?
Not completely dissimilar from Jack. It was definitely a big process of watching films and thinking like, hang on, like that looks fucking brilliant. I would love to do that. Sorry, my bad. But I think for me also, I kind of came, like, especially when I was in kind of middle school and high school, I was very much stuck between doing visual art, like, and theater. And I loved like the directing part of theater. I wasn't very much a fan. It was that really got me excited. And I love the visual aspect of art. And it was like, well, this is the perfect marriage in between. Like, it's the best of both worlds to me. So after that, it was a pretty clear path, I'd say.
Did you go through any sort of education, or was it just you made your way naturally?
No, I am still in education. I'm in my 4th and final year at Edinburgh College of Art with doing a film and degree. But before that, no, I hadn't done anything related to film.
Okay, and Lisa, what got you into filmmaking?
I think it's always watching films. But to be honest, when I watched films, at first I never quite thought about all the stuff that had to go into it. And then I'm from Germany originally, so I went to school here, but I did a semester abroad in New Zealand. And there they have this really cool subject. I don't know actually if you've had it in the UK. It's called media studies. And in the half year that I was there, we were studying film and film language. And I suddenly realized, like, wow, there's so much going into this. And I thought it was so fascinating that I kind of never left me. I did business studies in between, but then I came back to film.
So was that a recent thing you come back to film, or how long have you been back at film?
No, I started studying, basically I finished my business studies degree, but I knew it wasn't the right thing. And I did a lot of internships, and some of them were at film. And I worked on a short film here in Germany. And then I started the MA film at Screen Academy I think in September 2018. And I graduated a year ago. And I've actually been working for a production company in Germany since then. Right.
So I want to know, what was your favorite part of your film to work on? And to be separate of your favorite part of the film, but what was it like? Do the process. What was the best bit, Jack?
So, what was my favourite part of working on the film?
Yeah.
Well, so many. It was a lot of fun all around, really. But I guess probably the most. Well, it was all pretty exciting. Doing some of the special effects was quite fun. Sort of tying little sort of fishing wire to various things and having to pull them out at the right time. The acid melt of this sort of styrofoam head, that was quite fun. We were all quite nervous, but we were doing that in case we got some nasty stuff on the camera, something like that. So yeah, that was good. That sort of gives it a bit of an edge that you might break something. That was quite fun.
What about you? What was your favorite part of making the film?
I mean, yeah, like Jack said, it was a whole lot of fun, and I think it really shows in the film, and it's what makes us, like, everyone who worked on it, I think, feels so passionate about it because of that. But yeah, it's a lot of like things of the production elements like coming together, like things we found stupid solutions for, like the acid, like pouring, and like the sugar glass. It was very, very satisfying. When Jack smashes that glass, it's just sugar. Thinking we've made it, and yeah, I think personally probably just the satisfaction of assembling the fly civilization and shooting that final shot was very, very fun for me, because I put a lot of hours gluing Amazon cardboard boxes together to make that a reality. But yeah, it's hard to pin it down, really. It was a lot. Yeah.
So was that your favorite part of the final product of the film, watching it?
No, not necessarily. I wouldn't know what my favorite part is. I think my favorite part is flies swirling out of the trousers at the very end. You see the two of them. It's just such a beautiful shot, and I find it very funny that it's just two flies. Favorite part of the film.
Awesome. Lisa, what was your favorite part of making the film?
I think it was really like being on set, because we were also living on set, because we had everything there. We had the camera there. We were kind of scared to leave it alone, so we decided to just stay there overnight. And we were
Oh,
also doing
brilliant.
night shoots actually. So we were sort of like Julia, the producer, the other producer, Nela, the camera operator, and Vagelis, the director. We were living basically on set. And yeah, it was stressful, but it was a lot of fun.
How long did that take you then, if you were on set for all that time?
Well, we had 4 shooting days or nights really. So yeah, we were there for 5 nights, then 1 day setting up.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Got one last question. What are your next steps, Jack?
Well, if only we knew. That's a very difficult question.
Yeah.
I've got no idea. I mean, I'd like to make more films. That would be nice. I'm always trying to sort of write a few little ideas down and things here and there. So yeah, the idea would be to make more films. Definitely, I'd like to. There's currently nothing currently being officially made, but I'm also working quite a bit in sort of documentaries now, which is also quite fun. It's a whole different angle, which is exciting. But yeah, I think more sort of fantasy-esque comedy films. I'd like to eventually churn out.
And do you like playing the actor? Because you're obviously the actor in this one.
Yeah, it's great fun. I think because I always think, well, I put all this work into writing this role and sort of trying to create this sort of fun world. So I think, well, why give it to an actor? I want to do it. I mean, that's one of the most fun jobs is acting. So I definitely want to save that for myself.
yeah. What about you? Where are you going next, or hoping to go?
Hoping to go is a big question. I think especially sometimes it's hard to say what the next step is. But in sort of the near future, I'm shooting my own graduate film, and that's sort of the main thing in production right now. We will see to what capacity will be shot, but it's kind of the thing at the forefront of my mind. And then onwards and upwards, who knows?
Yeah, I look forward to see what you guys end up coming up with. Lisa, what's your next steps?
I think I already said I'm working at a production company called Unafilm right now in Hamburg. And yes, I'm just gonna stay with them, hopefully make a lot of amazing films. We actually have one film out, video on demand right now in Germany. So if anybody's watching from Germany, go watch Schlaf. It's called Schlaf, sleep, basically. I don't think it's available in the UK yet, but it might still come. And we're shooting a film next year if everything goes well. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to that and learning more.
And are you going to be producing in this?
No, I'm a junior producer.
All right, okay. This is all very exciting. It's been really interesting to speak to you all. I thank you all for coming. That wraps up our magical and fantastical strand. Thank you all for coming. It was great to hear from you all. And we really enjoyed watching all your films. They are brilliant. At 8 p.m. tonight, we're watching our final strand, Locked Down. So I hope you all tune into that. And thank you all for watching. Bye.
Brilliant. Bye.